Hello, good morning. Thanks for watching. Elise makes a bunch of videos. If it looks like I haven't slept in a really long time, it's because I did the graveyard shift last night, which is my current schedule, and it's now like 8:30 a.m. and I still haven't slept. I usually get home around 5-ish, 5 a.m. and it seems like it's been getting later and later, or earlier, or whatever you call that, that I actually go to sleep, because I end up sometimes eating food. Maybe I'll get a cup of tea, and then it turns into watching videos on my phone. And anyways, but I have tonight off, so I think also my brain is like, you don't really need to sleep because ooh, that's windy. Sorry for the volume audio probably being horrible, but anyways, I've just fed the chickens. Or I did not help, but that gate is on now. So this other section that you would have seen in previous videos is now blocked off with that gate, and so things can start happening in there. I'm not entirely sure where all the things will be going. There's a bunch of plants going in somewhere in the middle-ish, I guess. But yeah, that gate where they used to be able to get through over there is now gated again. Not that they really knew that it existed half the time anyways. The ducks sort of knew, but the chickens are not like the brightest of animals. Anyways, so that is the progress with that. In other news, my car is working again. So far so good. Still haven't insured it because that's not a legal requirement here in New Zealand, and I've only been driving it like within 5 minutes of where I live to where I work and back, and that's the only thing. Ooh, and it is windy and about to be rainy, so that's why I wanted to feed the chickens now, because their pellets turn into like a mushy nothing in the rain. What else? Nothing has changed here. That's still how that is. Probably won't be able to do any concreting today because of the rain coming. So that seems to be a problem with my schedule, because I can't do it by myself. Because my friend who owns the house wants to be there, but then the only days off I have are when it's raining, because of how fruit picking works. But the season should be over in like a week. So I think after that, hopefully I'll just have a bunch of time off to finish off some projects here. Just get back into a normal daytime schedule. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe by then it'll be quarantine level 2, which I don't really know what that means fully at all, actually. But we'll find out anyways. Yeah, so main thing is that the car is back working. The wrecker company does have my old car and still hasn't paid me, and then was sort of like, oh, you have to change. I was like, are you going to change the ownership? When are you going to pay me? They're like, oh yeah, you do the ownership thing. And I'm like, no, actually, that's not how that works, and you should probably know that, being a car wrecking company. So that was a bit of concern. I still haven't been paid or any sort of confirmation about any of that, so I need to still deal with that, unfortunately. So now I'm sort of like, I should have just sold it to the mechanic that I'd looked at it, and then he would have just transferred the money immediately, I'm sure. Definitely you could make money off of it, and then I was even considering just having it towed up, because if I could get it fixed, then I might get at least half the money that I paid for it back. But at this point, I'll be lucky to get anything, I think. Yep, so that's fun, but that's fine. It's just money. I um, have almost made back the money that I spent on that car with this job. And then I thought it would be interesting to talk about um, the graveyard shift or the night shift or whatever you call it, wherever you're from. Because a friend was asking me, and I was like, it doesn't really seem like an interesting thing just because I've done these types of shifts previously. And I think for me, um, yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird schedule. If you've worked in hospitality and done like like actual afternoon, I guess, shifts where you finish at like 11 p.m. or midnight or whatever, it's kind of like that, only a little bit more extreme. But yeah, in my last video, and I was saying like good afternoon or something, but it was really like 5 in the morning. But I think it's because all the people you work with, when you get to work, even though it's 6 p.m., everyone's like, good morning. And then when you leave, it's like, have a good night, even though it's morning. So if you're confused about that, like, it's clearly not afternoon because it's 5 a.m. So she says it was like really dark out still. I almost thought about doing a video like that this morning when it was dark out, and I was like, I don't know, it looked weird. Also, I thought I would go to sleep, but I didn't. So now I'm out here, and yeah, I just want to get a few things done before it rains. I might do a bit of the lawns, even though I did it like a week ago or less. It's like, it's crazy how things grow in New Zealand. I might do a little mini video of the garden that I had been working on like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Because the tree, you can kind of see it from here. Yeah, that tree was like less than a meter high, and now it's like, if you can see that, it is over 2 meters, and it's been very little time, but that's just how New Zealand, especially Northland, works, because it's just so warm, and like in Kerry particularly, it rains, and like just basically perfect growing conditions, which is why it's sort of the breadbasket agricultural area. But yeah, oh yeah, I was talking about graveyard shifts. So yeah, I don't know, it's a weird one, especially when you like are living with other people who are in a normal schedule, because they generally don't like, I don't know, consider for the fact that like you're sleeping in the middle of the day, which is totally understandable. But yeah, so it just sort of turns into like not always having a total 8 hours of sleep, but more like maybe 3 hours, and then like you wake up, and then you either like get up for a bit and then go back to sleep, or like not. So it's been really weird, and I feel like a lot of the days I've been doing those half sleep and then get up and then go back to sleep. But then it's not as good of a sleep, and then the next day I end up making up for it by sleeping like 9 or 10 hours in a row, like on and off, and then yeah. So that's been my situation. And but yeah, I think it also just reminds me of like long haul travel as well, or like anyone who's in weird transport jobs where you're always just up at weird hours. Um, it's just how it is. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. I am going to get all that started now, with the lawns at least, and maybe plant some stuff, but I have a feeling that, yeah, because my friend's still in bed, and I have to ask her where it's gonna go, and then by the time that all happens, it'll be like 4 or 5 hours from now, I'm guessing. Um, so yeah, it would be good if I just knew what I was like what needed to be done, and then I could just like do it and get it over with. I think that's what happened at the beginning. There was like so many things to be done, and then I sort of like knew what it was, and so I could just like get up whenever, work on it, not take a break, go in the back in the afternoon. Obviously wasn't working at the time, so that helped too. And but yeah, nowadays all the like projects that are left I can't do on my own without instructions or supervision. So it's a bit more of a challenge to get things done with my weird schedule, which is never the same, it seems, because it really depends on if I'm asleep, if there's people around in the morning waking me up halfway through, or what. But yeah, I'm really hoping it also rains tomorrow so I can have 2 days off, and it'll just be a good little chunk of time. Like, that's what happened last week, but it was so unplanned that I didn't, like, utilize it very well. But anyways, now that I know it's all about the rain schedule, I can maybe sort myself out. But again, it's only like a week left of the season, so yeah, that's what's happening with me. I hope you're doing well. I will keep you updated whenever. And yep, that's it. Peace and love, y'all. Catch you next time.